Look at these two screens side by side. On the left is the kinetic reality of the 2026 conflict between the United States and Iran. On the right is an entirely different battle space, a massive AI-driven cognitive warfare campaign operating simultaneously online. Traditionally, we measure asymmetric warfare in physical terms. We look at localized drone swarms, blockades, and guided missiles. But in this conflict, a new primary metric of success has emerged: mimetic virality and algorithmic dominance. This strategy relies on a severe operational paradox. American citizens across the entire domestic political spectrum are actively consuming and voluntarily distributing hostile foreign propaganda. The medium carrying this propaganda is a constant stream of high-fidelity, AI-generated Lego animations specifically designed to mock U.S. leadership and military actions. The primary distributor of these assets is a digital media enterprise identifying itself as Explosive Media. To understand how this phenomenon operates, we have to reverse engineer it. We need to deconstruct the mechanical distribution, the psychological triggers, and the exact origin point of this specific campaign. Recognizing the mechanics of this Legofication is essential to understanding how modern state actors successfully weaponize the internet against a target population. The aesthetic strategy of this operation is highly calculated. The campaign renders graphic military violence and political scandal using plastic minifigures, scoring the footage to AI-generated rap music. The creators chose the toy aesthetic because it functions as a culturally neutral, universally recognized world language. By juxtaposing childhood innocence with grim geopolitical realities, the videos trigger an immediate cognitive dissonance. This deliberate aesthetic friction softens extreme claims. It sanitizes graphic subject matter, making the depiction of lethal force highly approachable and highly shareable. Because the violence is constructed out of plastic blocks, the format easily bypasses the automated moderation filters social media platforms use to catch and restrict violent imagery. Operating past those filters, the campaign aggressively targets specific elements of U.S. culture war debates, actively exploiting existing domestic political polarization. A recurring and highly successful theme integrates the Jeffrey Epstein scandal to delegitimize both U.S. and Israeli leadership. The propaganda links these figures to the conflict, framing the war as a violent distraction orchestrated by corrupt elites to hide their own moral failings. As an emotional anchor, the campaign relies heavily on the Minop school strike, where over 160 Iranian civilians were reported killed. Depicting child casualties using symbolic toy imagery, like plastic shoes scattered in rubble, elicits visceral guilt far more effectively than traditional war reporting. Through this strategy of Legofication, the Iranian state successfully transforms a psychological operation into highly shareable, frictionless satire. The campaign broadcasts these assets primarily through Telegram and X, operating under the handle Explosive Media. Western platforms quickly responded. Both YouTube and Instagram enacted sweeping account bans against the group. Those bans failed. The campaign relies on a built-in platform resilience engineered into its distribution model. Account terminations actually act as a catalyst. When the main node drops, it instantly splinters, spawning dozens of new mirror accounts across the digital map. Verified blue-check accounts immediately download and mirror the banned content, pushing it to their followers. Official Iranian diplomatic missions provide secondary amplification. They actively frame the mirrored videos as banned artifacts, leveraging censorship to drive viewer curiosity. This resilient network is fed by a rapid production cycle. Generative AI allows the team to output new animations in near real time as events unfold. This extreme speed allows the Iranian narrative to prime global audiences before Western military intelligence can draft and release verified statements. In the modern attention economy, attempting to censor highly shareable mimetic propaganda frequently accelerates its distribution. Publicly, Explosive Media brands itself as an independent, volunteer group of Gen Z Iranian students. They claim to work voluntarily, operating without government funding. However, in an interview with the BBC, a representative admitted that the Iranian government is a direct commissioning customer. The forensic evidence lies in the logistical reality on the ground. This is the Tehran skyline during the 2026 conflict. The Iranian populace is currently enduring the world's longest government-induced internet blackout. Generating and uploading high-definition AI video requires massive data transfers. Executing this under severe blackout conditions is a forensic impossibility for ordinary citizens. A campaign of this fidelity requires state-level whitelisted bandwidth and complete immunity from domestic censorship. It requires a single, illuminated pipeline out of a darkened network. The true architectural tether of the operation leads to the Revayat-e Fath Institute, an entity tied to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. This institute synchronizes grassroots internet memes with centralized military directives, pushing the digital content directly to official state television broadcasts. This hybrid structure allows a centralized, authoritarian military apparatus to successfully masquerade as a decentralized, organic internet subculture. Which brings us to the core analytical question. Why are Americans actively memeing and sharing videos created by a hostile foreign power? This bar chart visualizes domestic polling data on the 2026 conflict, establishing our baseline of American sentiment. Among Democrats, disapproval of the war reaches a massive 90%. Moving the highlight to young Republicans, we see significantly lower approval compared to the older conservative base. This high domestic disapproval across multiple demographics directly correlates with the virality of the Iranian memes. For a digitally native audience, this represents the commodification of conflict. Memes replaced traditional wartime posters as the primary method for processing and participating in geopolitical events. Sharing these specific videos provides a low-stakes, humorous vehicle for Americans to express their own anti-establishment sentiment regarding the conflict. The propaganda succeeds not by building sympathy for Iran, but because it weaponizes America's internal political fissures against itself. These are serious, state-sponsored information operations wrapped in the impenetrable armor of internet satire. The traditional U.S. military apparatus is struggling to counter this modern narrative format. While U.S. agencies attempt their own awkward memification of the war, Iran leverages a highly effective native understanding of global internet culture. Controlling the cognitive domain is now equal in strategic importance to kinetic military dominance. A target nation's own attention economy is now arguably the most dangerous asymmetric weapon of the 21st century.